Hi everybody, it's Loom here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super gorgeous Magnolia bracelet. And this is not my design, it is designed by at Southern Loomer from Instagram, and it looks just like this. And she has a super awesome Instagram account, so I definitely recommend giving her a quick follow. And I love this bracelet so much, and I'm so glad that she gave me the opportunity to do the tutorial for it. And it does require 7 pin bars, so 3 looms. And if you would like to do it on 2 loom lengths so that it'll be a full wrap on your bracelet, or on your wrist, then you will need to do that with 5 looms. And this one here was with 1 loom length. So as you can see, it wraps around about that far. So if you want to put your extension on it, then 1 loom length is sufficient. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So you will need to have your loom set up just like this. So 1 pin lower than the rest, and they're going to angle back to both sides. And you're going to start by placing your perimeter bands. And you're just going to start from this pin here. You're going to go up to the left, up to the left again, and up to the left once more. And now you're going to do the same thing on the right. That's kind of a weak band. I'm going to replace it. You will want to make sure that you have sturdy bands on the perimeter and to the right. And now we are going to go up the side pins from here, and you're going to go up with 9 bands. And then we'll turn into the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And once you get to that 9th band, you are going to turn and go at an angle into the right. So go 1, 2, and 3 into the right. So you can kind of push these down. And by the way, guys, the bands I'm using right now are the Medieval red bands from rainbowloom.com. And so now you're going to go up 9 more times on this right side. And I'm just kind of placing my bands quickly so that I don't bore you with just taking forever on each step, but I do recommend taking a little more time making sure that your bands aren't twisted, because that'll make it look much better in the end. And again, we just turned into the right and went in an angle 3 times. So now your bands should be meeting up on this last pin. And now we are ready to place our zigzags on the side, and this is going to be the purple on this bracelet. So whichever color you want to represent that purple is what you'll do for this next part. And it's just a simple zigzag, but of course you can do alternating colors. And whenever Southern Loomer sent me the pictorial for it, she did 2 bands of one color and then 2 of the next, and so on. I'm just going to use 1 color in the tutorial. So you're going to start from this side, and you're going to go in at an angle. Go out toward the perimeter. Oops. And you are simply going to place those bands all the way up the loom. And sorry that I'm using blue and my bases are blue. But I think it still stands out good enough because I'm using the navy blue jelly, so they're pretty dark. And you end whenever you meet up with this right corner. Just like so. So it should look like this. And now we're going to do that exact same thing on the left side. Start from this corner here. Go out, back in toward the perimeter, And just continue that simple zigzag all the way up the loom. And then just kind of push these bands all down because you're going to be adding another row of zigzags. So I'm going to take my next color, which I'm going to be using Jelly Red. And I kind of chose a lot of reds because they stand out the best from the loom. And I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing really well. So now we're going to go from this pin here, which is the second bar pin row. And we're going to place a band out this way. And then back in towards our other zigzag here. And then you're just continuing that simple zigzag all the way up the loom. And then you're going to end whenever your zigzag meets up with your perimeter in the back. So just like so. Now you're going to do the same thing on the right. So you're going to start from this pin here. And you're going to go up this way. Go back to meet up with your other zigzag. And just continue that all the way up the loom. Drop the band down there. There we go. And again, you just continue that same zigzag until you meet up with the perimeter bands. My rows are starting to kind of come apart. There we go. And now our next step is to place the bands that are the clear bands in this bracelet. And I think clear looks really cool with this because then you see the center, but that is up to you. I'm actually going to be using these, I think they're gray and white pearl, I believe. And so now you're going to start from here with one band, and you're going to go up toward the center. Same thing on the right, up toward the center. And now you're going to go from that center pin where those two bands just met up, and you're going to go out to the left and out to the right. So just kind of an X shape. So then you go from here, go into the center, and then out from the center. Into the center, and out from the center. And again, you want to make sure that these bands don't get too twisted or tangled. And just so the tutorial doesn't get too lengthy, I am going to go off screen and finish that up, and I will be right back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back and I've just finished placing all of the X's up my loom, and it should end right here. So that's what your loom should look like. And now our last step of band placement is just to place double wrapped cat bands on all of these. And I'm going to be using my navy blue jelly, and we are simply going to put the cat band on there. And you can twist it on your fingers however you like to do it, but I do recommend making sure that your cat band doesn't get too twisted up and stuff, because you will see these cat bands. As you can see, you see them pretty well, and so if it was twisted, it wouldn't look as nice. Sorry, my voice is kind of raspy, guys. It's like 5 in the morning. 5:30. I have a day off school today, so I've been like, got up really early, and so I can do a bunch of tutorials today. So anyways, you just continue with these cap bands. And then whenever you get to the last one, you're going to want to place your perimeter band. Your perimeter color for a cap band. So on the final one, I'm using my medieval red to place a cap band. And now we are completely done with all of our band placement. So it should look like this. You might want to take a moment to just make sure you didn't miss anything. And now we can flip our loom around. And we will begin looping. We are first going to start in this cap band for our first X. And you're going to push that back. Grab the top band. And pull it back towards itself. Grab the next band, loop it towards itself. And you're just grabbing all of those out of the cap band so there's none left, and you're looping them all back in the direction they came from. So if you've ever made a starburst bracelet, it's kind of similar to that, except for, of course, a starburst has 6 bands going around, and this only has 4. So we're just continuing up into every cap band, and just loop out those bands. So I'll do one more with you guys, and then I will go off screen and finish looping the center. Okay, so you guys probably have the hang of that, right? Well, probably have the hang of that by now. And so I'm going to go off screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished looping up all of the center bands, so it should look like this. And now I am going to loop out this first zigzag that's closest to the center, but we are going to do that from looping out of the bands that we just looped. So you're going to go into the third pin from, well, the third pin up on this third row, I mean. It's a little confusing, huh? And you're going to pull out that top band and just bring it back to where it goes. And do the same thing with the other one. And now you're going to go up into the next pin, so the 4th pin on that row. And you're just going to loop it back towards itself. And you're simply doing that all the way up your loom. Just pull out those 2 bands. Your bands might kind of pop off your pins and you loop it, just push them back down. Sorry if you guys could just hear that. That was my little air freshener thing. I have like a lilac obsession and have a little air wick thing that sprays every 30 minutes or something like that. And so we just loop those out until the zigzag band that we loop meets up with our perimeter band. Just like so. And now we can do the same thing on the right side. Push back these bands here. Grab that top band, pull it back to where it belongs. The next one. And so you will just be doing that all the way up your loom. I'm going to go off screen, finish that step up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we now have all of our first zigzag row completely looped. And now we are going to move on to this next row, and we're doing it the same way that we just did this last row. So we are just going into, let's see, it'll be the 4th pin up on this 2nd bar pin. and we're just going to grab the top band and loop it back towards itself. And loop the second one back towards itself. So it's just that simple. It's pretty much the exact same step that we just did. And again, I apologize if these blues are kind of blending with my bases on my loom, but you probably already have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing because we just did that. And our last one, you just pull them back out like normal, and then when you looped, we'll meet up with your perimeter. Just like so. And now we're going to do the right side, so you're going to go into this 4th pin up on your, let's see, I guess 6th bar pin. I had to think about it there. So you're going to grab the top one, pull it back towards itself. Grab the next one, pull it towards itself. I was going to go off screen for this part, but I'll probably just finish up with you guys. It's a pretty quick step, so just looping these out. And our final one. Okay, and so now we have all of the center of our bracelet looped up, and the final step is just to loop this simple perimeter. And so we're going to push back this cap band, grab the top band, and pull it over to the left. And depending on which way you place your perimeter bands, like which side you did first, you might be looping out the right first, but that is okay. It will end up the same. So now grab the next band, loop it to the left again, and to the left again. Now you're going to go back into that cap band, loop it to the right again, and once more. And now we are looping up 9 bands up, and then we're turning into the center. So you're going to go into this left side, loop it forward, and it's a little bit tricky sometimes whenever you use the kind of the special edition bands. I'm using the medieval reds, and they're a little bit sticky sometimes, so they have a tendency to stick against your other bands and your loom and stuff. And now whenever we get to the top, we're just turning and looping into the center until it meets at that point, just like so. And now we're going to come back down to this side where we just finished looping the 3 to the right. So we're going to start right here. Grab that bottom band, loop it forward. Just continue pushing back all the bands and grabbing that bottom one. Loop it forward. Hope my hands don't get in the way ever. I'm trying to hold my loom still and keep them out of the way. A little bit tricky. And now we turn back into the center. And now all of our bands should be meeting up at this center top point. And so I'll turn my loom around to show you this next step. what I like to do is I like to take my perimeter color and I stick my hook through all these bands at the end. You're going to grab this band, pull it through here, and attach a hook onto the end. And now if you're going to do an extension, because you only did one loom length, then you can add several more links onto it and then put a C-clip. It's up to you. But now we're just going to remove this carefully, one pin at a time. I do not recommend just ripping it off the loom like some people do, because you could have a lot of band breakage and it'll end up messier. And so I will take it off the loom and I'll be right back. And so here's the finished product, and I think it looks completely fantastic. And I know it kind of looks like it'd be really good for 4th of July here in America. But that's not why I did these colors. I just thought it would look really nice and stand out from the loom. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this bracelet. Remember, this is by Southern Loomer on Instagram, so make sure to give her a follow. And also, if you make this bracelet, make sure that you tag me and Southern Loomer in it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.